Hi YouTube, it's Diane again. I thought I'd do my whip update that I said I would do last week. Our son graduated on Saturday and we had his open house on Sunday. And so it's nice just to have a breather and not be constantly worried I'm forgetting something or nightmares that I forget his cap and gown or something for his graduation. It's done. He's graduated. Yay! Another student graduated. So I thought I would do my whips. And I have whips, I know it's been like a month and a half or something, almost 2 months, and I just wanted to make sure I had something to show in my video. Plus, I just knew with graduation, it's always those last minute details that just eat up all of your time and energy. So, my first whip is the White Dragon. My goal was to get the first page done, and I did. Oh my, I didn't believe how long this took. Right in here toward the end, this is a lot of confetti stitching in here, and I mean it's a beautiful piece, but wow, that confetti took a lot longer than I thought it would. So instead of taking just a week to finish it off, it took more like 2 or maybe even 2.5 weeks to get this whole page done. But page 1 is done, and I originally was wondering if I should go just down, but I'm going to go across, because then I don't have to adjust my frame, and I think that would bug me if I had to adjust my frame all the time. So I'm going to do page 2 over here. So if you look at the pattern, let's see, right here is right here. So first page is this section here. So second section, get more into the dragon body and less of the background. Here was a lot of background up here. And the background on here, oh, you can see it. Here's the blue. It is coming up really nice on the camera. And a lot of black and a lot of 823 blue. And this one, no, it was a different blue. I can't remember the color off the top of my head. So he's coming along, and my son, who I'm making this for, was very excited when I got page 1 done. And he's looking forward to me starting on page 2. My goal this next time around is 1, maybe 2 columns. I am going to go back to the parking technique. I switched from the parking technique to more cross-country, and I really like the parking technique more on this particular project. So I'm going to go back to the parking technique and get at least 1, if not 2 columns done. So it's the White Dragon. This is the regular size. I know that there's a mini White Dragon, and I know that they're supersizing some patterns, but this is the regular size. And my Mirabilia, I know a lot of people are finishing their Mirabilias, but when I just had one project at a time, I'd probably be done by now. But with multiple projects and limited stitching time, although now that our school year's done, I'll have more. Although to be honest, in the summer I tend to quilt more because I can have my sewing machine out and everything. But I do still plan on stitching. And this is Venetian Opulence. I didn't get as much done on her as I wanted because the White Dragon took more of my time. But I did come down with more of the green. So my goal this month is really to fill in the green. This section here and I think in here, there's a lot of tweeding, as in T-W-E-E-D-I-N-G. Tweeding is where you take one color of, or one strand of one color and put it together with a strand of a different color, and then you stitch with those 2 strands at the same time. I don't mind tweeding. It just is not as easy as you can just take it off the bobbin and go. But that's what is in this area. Some of the greens are tweeded, and I think some of the blues are too. So I just like to focus again on this area. I'm not going to worry about this gold frame yet. That'll be later. So that's where I'm at with her. And I'm kind of into the whatever I want to stitch mode. But she is, I think she's next on my what I need to stitch next thing. My next project is the Hobbit Movie Characters. I got the pattern off of Etsy from Amazing Cross Stitch on Etsy. I like their patterns. The symbols are easy to read. I think they're cute. and I did the 9 lantern core, which I bought a frame, so maybe next time that one will be a FFO, I guess is the new acronym that we're using. Last time I had the Hobbits, I just had Gandalf's hat and his gown. This is where I'm at now. Gandalf is complete, and this is Thorin, the king, Nori, I think this is Nori, and Dwalin. They will have their names stitched at the bottom. I'll wait till they're all done before I do that. So now I have to go this way, and I have Bilbo and 2 other dwarves, and in the bottom row there's 8 dwarves across. And then up here it says, I think it says The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey, or something along that line. So that's kind of a fun project. It's easy to take places, because you don't have to, because it's so clear, you don't have to look as closely at the symbols, and there's no fractional stitches that I've run across in any of these characters. Well, actually there might be a couple, not too many, but there's no back stitching, no metallics, so it's very basic project, and my boys are liking seeing these guys come together, and on this beige 18 count they're really standing out nicely. I did not work on my son's birth sampler because I just have the silk ribbon section to go, and I knew I needed to concentrate on that, and with the graduation I didn't want to be distracted. I want to be able to do that, in one fell swoop. I haven't done silk ribbon embroidery in a long time, so I'm giving myself a breather, but I plan on getting that one in and done this summer. I did not work on my daughter's. This one's called Birdcage X Elegance for my youngest daughter, and for my middle daughter, this one, Sleeping Princess by Mirabilia. I did not work on either one of these, so I didn't meet my goal of at least 100 stitches. That's okay. I did work on Cassiopeia. The goal for this one for me was to restart it. I had started it on the Twilight Blue linen that it calls for, but I wanted to restart it on a hand-dyed that I purchased called Gothic from Picture This Plus, and I was able to restart that because I often start in the middle and work down, but because this is solid stitching, I actually started up here, and that's where I'm at right here. This color is really beautiful. It's not coming across on the camera. Well, there, a little better. It's 3808. There's a lot of it in this section. So this silver that you see here is the outer edge, and then I have the horizontal and the vertical centers. I don't grid my work. I know some people do, and I could see the benefits. Definitely see the benefits. And but this project, I thought, oh, I need to know where the outer edge is and the centers are. So I gridded them, those lines. And on this piece, look pattern again, this outer gold border you see, that's mostly metallics, and I'm waiting to do that till later. When I use a needle for metallics, that's it. I don't use it again for floss because the metallics will leave little burrs in the eye of the needle and it'll damage your floss. So I'm just going through and I'm working on the floss. So my goal with all 3 of these projects this next month is, again, just keep working forward, because every little stitch is closer to a finish. And these do not have any kind of deadline, which is nice. So I'll put those aside. Have a new unexpected start. This piece is called Evergreen, and I have the mini Evergreen from Heaven and Earth Designs. I do not have a color printer, so it's not a color picture, but if you look up mini Evergreen at Heaven and Earth Designs, you'll see she's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. And I was able to whip out the first column on the first page pretty quickly. For being evergreen, I've only used grays and blues, but eventually I'll get to green. My issue with this pattern, now this is for me. I get to make projects for myself, yes, and this one's for me, is I think it was up in this section. I do not know why they would use two symbols that are so close to each other. I don't think I have it. Well, maybe I have it on the box. Hold on. Yeah, here's my Evergreen box. So here's my Evergreen box. And I don't know if you can see, but that's a square with diagonal lines. And this is a square with polka dots in it. Which one? I needed this color, and which one do you think I grabbed? Of course I grabbed this because I quickly looked at the symbol and looked at my box, and I realize now I need to really pay close attention on the boxes on here. I mean, they have a solid box too. I mean, they could have like colored half of it so it looks like a spare when you go bowling or something. So that's the only complaint I have about this pattern. But this column stitched up in like a day. I mean, it was really fast. And I'm using the parking technique. I do like using the parking technique. And again, I am just going to go across. This has 12 pages total. They're not all full pages. I think it's like 2.5 pages across by, so that would be 3.5 down. But this is the mini, so she only has 80,000 stitches versus the regular one, which has like 225 or something. And since I have a huge dragon, I'm looking at the minis more. And this one I did not feel you lost a lot of detail between the regular size and the mini size. And I just felt just in love. I love her hat and her scarf. And she reminds me, my grandmother and grandfather got married in the 1920s. And this hat just reminds me of some hats that she showed me that she wore during that time frame. And it's just a beautiful piece. Sorry I don't have it in color, but I encourage you to look at the website and see it in color because she's beautiful. And this is for me. I get to do pieces for myself. So that's an unexpected start. I hadn't expected to start her, but you know what? I needed to start her when I did. And right before I went on, my needle threader fell off, so I lost my needle. Thankfully not on the floor, but on my sewing table somewhere, so I'll find it eventually. And I've been noticing they recommend you use size 28 needles on this 18 count. I break those needles, and I do not like the size 28 needles. So I'm using a size 26, and I like it so much better. So that's what I'm using. I'm breaking the rules and loving it. I also am doing the Specialty Stitches Stitch Along from Cross Stitch It's Fun, and this is the piece I'm doing. It's called One Stitch at a Time. This is white and gold. I'm thinking you could see it a little clear on this side with all the borders. This has 45 specialty stitches in it. I've stitched some of them. I've not stitched all of them before, but I've stitched some of them. And here's where I'm at, because they want you to do the basic grid first. And this is Pearl Cotton number 12, Smyrna Cross Stitch. And the fabric is called Stone by Fabric Flair. Still, I'm thinking the colors I'm going to use on it are these two silks by Mo's Sale. One's called Vamo and one's called Rue, purple and green. And as you see on the pattern, I think I'll run like a green, and then this one would be purple, and then this one would be green. Whoops, this row here, and this would be purple. These rows here are metallics with DMC number 8, and then these are all DMC number 8. I'm looking at one of these two metallics to use throughout the entire project. I thought I might have, if I only used one silk, I would match the metallic a little more, but I think that one of these will look nice on it. And I'll just wait till I get there to make the decision. Not in a rush. And these are number 4, let's see. This one is 3232 and this one is 150V. Both are number 4 Krennics. And if I don't like those, I'll pick from my box here, my handy dandy box. So, if you've not seen my video on the Krennic storage, how I store my Krennic, I encourage you to do that because these boxes are wonderful. Oh my, they're wonderful. And they're not that expensive either. So let me put these aside. So that's a new start for that stitch along. This one's taking priority. Once I get this grid done, it's kind of boring, to be honest. There's going to be 36 squares, and I have pretty much the bottom row done. Then I jump into the specialty stitches, and then it'll get more fun as you do that. I am liking this pattern. I wish I could show you the inside. Their illustrations are really, really good. This is just kind of all the stitches that are in it. I wish I could show you the illustrations. But their directions, so here it tells you, this is the stitch. It's called Sprat's Heads, which I've never made, and Cable Stitch. They're going to be in the same square. But then they tell you, okay, you want to use your pearl cotton and Krennic for the other stitch. So they're very clear on what, you know, you can choose whatever fibers you want, but whatever fiber type, okay, you want to use this type here and this type here for this stitch. And their diagrams, yes, it's the basic stitch, but they also have a diagram that shows 4 of that stitch side by side. And I think that's really valuable, so you could see which holes your stitches need to share and which ones they don't. And I find that really valuable. I'm really liking this particular pattern, and their directions are so clear. And yeah, this tells you what they used in their samples, so it gives you an idea of what to pick from. And they did one of these on 28 count and one on 32 count. I have 28 count that I'm working on right now, and yes, I am stitching in the hand. They do say that you have to be careful when you stitch in the hand. I've stitched in the hand for 20 years, so I think I'll be okay. If not, I'll pop it into one of my frames over there if I need to. But that one is going to be a priority because I want to get that one done. With the stitch alongs, I tried to choose projects that won't take me forever and a day to do. And speaking of stitch alongs, I'm going to do the Joan Elliott one that begins beginning of June. I don't remember if it's June 1st, but it's the beginning of June. And I'm going to do this one, this kit. I haven't done kits in a long time, and here I'm doing 2 of them. Oh, you guys are such an influence on me. It's called the Ice Fairy, and she's beautiful. It shows the metallic floss and the floss cards and the beads. I don't think I'm going to use this metallic because I do not like metallics that are stranded like this in a skein. And yeah, it's stranded, so you need certain strands. I will probably substitute Petite Treasure braid for that. And this silver too. That's pretty much what's in Birdcage Elegance. It's not a bad metallic to stitch with, but it does not give the coverage that I like. So in the Birdcage one, I am going to substitute a treasure braid or a Krennic instead of whatever this is. And with this particular project, I will probably do the same thing. So she starts in June, so I'd really like to have this one done or almost done before I start this one. I'm not a serial starter. Don't ask my husband, he would disagree with me on that, but I'm really not a serial starter, but she is just beautiful. And I normally don't like fairies, but oh, she's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I don't know who will have this pattern when it's said and done, but she's beautiful. Joan Elliott does a wonderful job. And I've never stitched, I have some of her patterns, but I've never actually stitched one, so that'll be good for me. Haul. What did I get for haul? Well, today Michael's had a 30% off regular price, so I went and I got floss for a project. I needed to get some more of these for my specialty stitches too, so I'm going to do that. And this is called Tears of Yesterday, and it is a mini, and yes, even though I have a black and white printer, it's a black and white pattern. So that's what those colors are for. And I think I just love the waves and folds in her gown here. And to be honest, I am probably going to start here and work my way up. I can imagine the first couple pages is just sky, so I think I'm going to start down here. I also bought the Aida cloth for it, so I have to cut the Aida cloth to the right size. And other stash. I purchased this Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm not as impressed with the designs in this particular issue, but last issue had the herbs here, so it's a set of 4, and so I wanted to get it for that. This owl here is cute, and I'm sure Calico will do the birds. And this is one that Stitching May talked about in her video, and it's really pretty. And I like this. This is a wedding sampler. Let me turn to that page really quick. It's a wedding sampler, and I do have a possible wedding I could make it for, but I don't know. It's called Contemporary Wedding Sampler. And it's kind of interesting. But I wasn't as impressed with this one as the last couple issues, but I've noticed that with either the spring or summer issues, they tend to be a little lighter. I don't know why. But today I picked up this one, Cross Stitch Gold. I looked at a bunch of them, and Cross Stitch Gold here. I liked the unicorn here, or I guess it's Pegasus because it has wings. And these bird ones up here are cute. Let's see if I can find them without showing any pictures. The bird ones are on page 24. These British magazines do have a different, I don't know, color set, or I think this one's British. Is this one British? Or maybe it's the other one that I was looking at. No, this one is British. They have a different way of doing their pictures. But these are the 4 birds, and they're kind of outlined with all the back stitching. It's kind of interesting. I do not make cross-stitch cards, but I suppose I might have to. The one I really like in here is, try not to show the chart, is this guy. I think he is gorgeous. And this one is called Slowly Does It, referring to the turtle. This one would be a fun one. Don't know when, but I liked this one. And I liked that one. It's the first time I've bought this magazine, so it's a new layout and stuff for me. And I also got this one. Spring Cross Stitch Favorites. 250 charts in here of flowers. And I figured that they would be very versatile. There we go, so that's a show. I really like these 4. This grouping of 4 is really nice, but they show you just all these different flowers, and just they're small, so they'd be quick to stitch. And I'm trying not to show the charts. I'm trying just to show the pictures, like here. There's 95 different patterns after this page, but I like how they grouped them together and used them in different ways. I mean, this is the same, or this is similar pattern, I guess. But different ways you can use them. And with flowers, I mean, you can make little jar toppers and decorate towels and all of that. So I really liked that part. Is this the one that had the... No, I was looking at Cross Stitch Collection, and in the back, let's see, it was like issue 248. Issue 249 is going to have a Joan Elliott in it that I really want to track down and find. It's going to be a beautiful picture. I'm a quilter, so I also got this one too, 100 Blocks by Quilt Makers, number 11. Haven't even looked at it yet. And the background of this video is my youngest son's baby quilt, this little giraffe. So, let's see, that's my whips, my new starts, future starts. I don't have an FFO. I do have frames for the 9 Lantern Core my daughter's graduation piece, and the snow sampler that I want to get those done. And in the summer I have a little more time. I'm really focused on planning out homeschool for next year. Next year I will have a senior, a sophomore, a 9th grader, 7th grader, 6th grader, 4th grader, 2nd grader, kindergartner, a preschooler, and a toddler. So yeah, it takes some time to figure all that out, all those little details, and I'm making some changes in what we do in math and adding computer science and just, yeah. So it takes a while to figure that all out. So that's been consuming my attention this last week. But I have my whip video done. Yay! And I'm not sick. Yay! We've been dealing with some health issues too. So, yeah, I'm not sure when I'll do my next video, but, oh, this basket I've had in my room just kind of holding space, and I thought, you know what? Since I do have multiple starts, instead of having them strewn all over, I'm just going to throw them in this basket. And you know, like this box is for the mini Evergreen, and this box is for the dragon. So I could just have them in one spot, easy to grab. So that's the first page. As you can tell, he's done. I got to throw that page away and get out page 2. So that's what I'm going to use for that. It's just a wicker basket that I was using to hold baby clothes, and he's not a baby anymore. He's 15 months old, and his clothes are getting bigger. He's somehow between, I gave all of the 12-month and 18-month-old pajamas away. Of course, that's the size he's in now, and I have to go track some down, but oh well, I'll find him when it's time. So I encourage you to keep stitching. I know sometimes we feel we don't make much progress at all, but every stitch is one step closer to a finish. And I've been watching the Hangouts. I haven't been signing in because of the computer that I'm on, but I've been watching the Hangouts, and it's nice to have it in the background where I can, when my kids are around and they're watching a movie or something, and then I don't worry about music playing and all of that. As their Google is getting pretty yeah, they're getting mean about that. I thank you for subscribing, and I thank you last week when I posted my little, okay, which color? You guys gave me so many options, but you also pointed out different things about the colors, the variation, and really helped me think through, okay, what do I want this piece to reflect? So I thank you for your input. It's helped me to make the decision to use the purple and the green. Not sure the metallic yet, but the purple and the green. And again, keep working forward on this project. And I'm so glad that I started this project. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good stitching week. And we will see you next video. Bye-bye.